Hey guys, it's Emma and Jordan. That's him. Jordan, you know him. We're on the road. We just got back from a Columbus Jill Stein event, and we struggled so hard to actually get the footage out there for you guys. But we did get some good footage. We got some good stuff. We saw Jill Stein speak. We interviewed some people. We interviewed a Trump supporter. Wait for those videos. But our battery pack was just completely shot. I had to make a very quick run to Best Buy where I sped quite a lot. Had to go grab Jordan a sandwich because he hadn't eaten and it was 2 p.m. already. But we were committed. We got you some good interviews and hopefully those should be going up soon. But everything just went horribly wrong. It was a catastrophe of epic proportions.
And not just everything didn't just go wrong for us, but apparently Jill Stein is running so hard to be president that she can't even focus anymore on where she's going. She got on the wrong flight to the wrong city. So instead of coming to Columbus, Ohio, she joined the great citizens of Cincinnati. So she was 2 hours late and didn't end up getting to Capital University until I'd say 2:15. She was supposed to go on at noon. Like Emma said, our camera wouldn't turn on because our battery pack is totally dead. My cell phone is fucking dead. It won't work. The wireless doesn't work. When I Facebook Live, it shuts off. Let's not even talk about the blood stains that were in my bed last night. Apparently, Mother Nature for some lucky lady happened and they didn't clean it. So that's what your humble correspondent slept in. And also, if you haven't noticed, I can't breathe out of my nose. I'm getting surgery next week. So it's been a swell day. But on the bright side, Labor Day's coming up. We are going to Detroit. We are going to be covering Donald Trump in the morning. He is going to a church to speak with its pastor. I've heard conflicting reports, but apparently he will also be speaking to the congregation for a little bit. So as with anything with Trump, there will be protests. So we're going to check that out in the morning. Hopefully it'll be a lot of juicy stuff, a lot of good protests that we could cover, people to talk to. Maybe we'll get a glimpse of Trump. Also, we will be covering Jill Stein as she has another rally in Detroit. Hopefully she takes the right car, flight, whatever, to Detroit, not somewhere else. And after we cover Jill Stein, we're going down to Flint. But I want to give you a little behind the scenes on what being on the road is like. Emma, you hold, I'll talk. So basically, you know, we're traveling, but we're also trying to book interviews for the next place we go. Sometimes it's very easy, sometimes it's not. For some reason, we can't really get much of a response from anybody in Flint to talk to us. We're going to go there anyway. I'll knock on doors if I have to. I don't really care. But we've been reaching out on Facebook, you know, people living in Flint. If you've been affected by the lead contamination, the lead crisis, please reach out to us. We want to do follow-up reporting. You know, we don't want to just be like the rest of the media. When it was big in the news, we'll go down there, including the candidates, by the way. But now that it's off the map, you know, we don't need to follow it. No, Flint has not been made whole. The citizens, the children who are now have brain damage have not been made whole. So we want to go down there, but frankly, we just haven't had anyone respond to us. Maybe it's Labor Day weekend thing and people are leaving or, you know, don't want to be bothered, but we'll make it work anyway. We'll go down there and find some good people to interview. But yeah, between the camera stuff, between my nose, between the blood in my bed, young Emma was getting a little bit flustered. I haven't eaten. It's been a day. So don't think we're just, you know.
Also, I think that was ketchup, not blood. We differ.
No, Emma, that was blood. It was blood. Not that I have the parts or have that happen to me.
I think I would know more than you.
I know the smell of ketchup, and that was not ketchup. That was period stains in my bed. It was the Holiday Inn, so I will be making a call, maybe getting a little coupon or something. But also, we're going to North Dakota to cover this pipeline, but I can't get in touch with anybody there to try and kind of figure out before I go there what's what, because nobody has service where this pipeline is. So a lot of, I would say, connectivity issues, whether it be actually getting the camera to work, getting my cell phone to work, etc. But we do it out of love and out of the passion for journalism. We should say the Jill Stein event, it wasn't huge. It was at a small college. I'd say, what do you think, like 50 people?
Yeah, it was 60.
Yeah, maybe 50 or 60 people on the lawn listening to her speak. But many people actually came up to us and thanked us for covering Jill Stein and thanked us for even coming to this college. Obviously, the mainstream media, they're not going to go following around Jill Stein. They're certainly not going to Capital University, which is a small school, and cover Jill Stein talking to 50 students.
Wait, you mean that she doesn't have a press plane?
Right.
Sorry.
She doesn't have a plus point.
Press
But it makes me happy when, people come up to us and thank us, because you could tell they realize that what we're doing is important. Not just because they like Jill Stein, but they realize that, it's important to cover third-party candidates, whether they have electoral chances or not, which I've been completely honest about it. I don't think Jill Stein's going to win, but that doesn't mean it's not important to cover her message, because part of what third parties do is change the discussion. The two-party system is an ingrained thing in America. It's a very tough thing to break, but that doesn't mean Gary Johnson's message, Jill Stein's message should not be heard. So I'm happy that the Young Turks is sending us around, and providing resources to cover Jill Stein, who definitely has brought a lot of people onto her bandwagon. A lot of Bernie Sanders supporters. Frankly, I've met people who are Republicans who just can't bring themselves to vote for even Donald Trump or Hillary Clinton that are considering Jill Stein of all people. So it's interesting.
Well, we met a Trump supporter who actually agreed with some of what Jill Stein had to say. Basically, the isolationist foreign policy, the more just like I guess she wouldn't describe it as isolationist, but getting out of these Middle Eastern countries and kind of removing our military presence. I think a lot of people agree with that. That's a lot of the tone, and yet the Democratic establishment is so pro-interventionist, and we have one of the biggest war hawks in history as the Democratic nominee. So you see the kind of grassroots belief in isolationism and how most people really want us to not intervene internationally, and the Democratic Party being so out of touch with that when it's supposed to be the party of the working people. And we were talking about this the other day. I think that maybe we could see a kind of shift in the Democratic Party versus the Republican in terms of how in the 50s and the 60s the Democrats became the party of the working people, and now it's the party of the suburbanites. And maybe we could see a populist and progressive shift for maybe the Republican Party, if the Republican Party isn't completely blown to smithereens in the wake of the tornado that is Donald Trump.
Right. I also think the trend that I've been witnessing throughout the campaign is we're still living in a post-factual era, because this Trump guy right off the top says to me, well, Trump was against the Iraq war. And I said, no, he wasn't. There's an interview he did with Howard Stern in 2002. Howard Stern asked him, what do you think? Should we get into Iraq? I'll give Trump, he didn't wave pom-poms to go to Iraq, but he said, yeah, we probably should. So Trump was not against the Iraq war, but because the media doesn't call him on anything, they cover his every booger, he's been able to paint himself as, having foresight to be against Iraq. He wasn't against Iraq. So Trump supporters, Hillary supporters, even some Stein supporters live in this post-factual bubble where facts don't matter. When I tell them the facts, I'm lying, or I'm a Bernie bro, or I'm a conspiracy theorist, whatever. I was also struck, there was an individual we interviewed with a bow tie, and he was a student at Capital University who helped organize Jill Stein getting there. And he was freaking out because he had helped organize this event, told everybody, all the students, be there at noon. And then he gets a call that Jill Stein is in Cincinnati, which is not anywhere close to Columbus. And, you could tell he was freaking out. He had put in a lot of work to get a presidential candidate to come. So we talked to him, and really nice kid. Talked about being a kid raised by a single mother and how Jill Stein's message really resonates with him. Also loves the Young Turks. Kind of thought I'm like Mick Jagger or something. He was so starstruck.
Well, people don't realize that Jordan's a celebrity wherever we go.
Which is a joke. I'm not a celebrity.
No.
Your gas station attendant is probably more famous than me. But yeah, it's very nice to be known. And young Emma is also getting known now. So
I'm kind of a big deal. I don't know if you guys realize, but
Right.
I'm pretty fucking famous.
Right. Ann Coulter and her will be battling any day now.
What's
But
going on?
yep. So we're going to the Apple Store now because I'm gonna hope to God that they can fix my phone. Because if they can't, then we have problems doing Facebook Lives, which I like doing for you guys. And then we'll be headed to Detroit. In addition to covering Trump, Jill Stein, I also want to do a little bit about Detroit specifically because obviously Detroit, it's kind of like ground zero for the destruction of the middle class. Used to be a huge hub for manufacturing and blue collar workers, and then the trade deals came in and all the jobs got offshored, and Detroit went from your kind of middle class suburbia to poor, low income, a lot of minorities. So want to kind of put a spotlight on Detroit because Trump, I'll give him this, I don't think he actually believes anything he says, but what he is saying about trade and manufacturing hitting cities like Detroit, hitting states like Ohio and Michigan and Indiana, Wisconsin is valid. And it's a message that I don't think Hillary Clinton has responded to particularly well because she has supported a lot of policies that have caused these problems for the middle class. So we will see. I'm excited to be in the Midwest. I'm actually really excited to go to this pipeline. I'm against the pipeline, but I've never been to North Dakota, and I haven't been able to cover many of the environmental issues during the primary, so I'm looking forward to that. So yeah, that's it. We'll keep Facebooking live even if we have no viewers. I know it's Labor Day weekend, so don't expect a huge audience, but I hope you'll keep going back to TYT Politics on YouTube. Check out the new videos that are coming out, and also like our page, tell your friends when you go to barbecues this weekend. Yes, the Young Turks is awesome. I'm a big fan, obviously, but they have this cool little channel called TYT Politics that is going to take down the establishment alongside the Young Turks. So please stay with us. We'll do another Facebook Live once my phone is fixed.